Yeah, you got to see those firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are live. Get busy living or get busy dying.
One or the other.
What movie is that from? Do you remember?
I don't.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yes.
It's an excellent movie. The icon is totally different on YouTube than it is in real life.
Yeah, it is.
Deer. That's funny.
It is.
That is funny. Let's kick this pig and get her done.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
And we're not going to do the drums and all that jazz today. I just didn't feel like it. I saw you, and I didn't mean to disrespect what you're doing.
I know you struggled with it last week, so I figured in honor of you, I'd hoist the imaginary drumstick.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we're brought to you by Nosler. We got their ammunition on display here. Check out nosler.com. Make sure you say you're 18 years or older or whatever it asks you. Maybe it's 21. I'm not really sure. Probably
18 or older.
Yeah. And then you can go in and
check it out.
Check out their new Whitetail Country ammo.
Yep. I got to see this stuff firsthand going down the assembly line.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And I mean, you got anything else to say about that?
I was just watching. We watch people package it up, put it in cases, and get it sent out to retailers near you.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I guess I forgot to check with them if code OHP will work on this ammo or not. I imagine it.
I would imagine it would.
But it's already very affordable. So if you use code OHP, our code is good for 20% off on their website. Someone let us know. Maybe I could ask, but maybe someone looking to buy some ammo will tell me faster than I'll find out. I don't feel like texting in a little podcast like I did last week. And then, our other partners too. I think last week I just skirted over everybody because I was just so excited to hear about the Oregon hunt with Derek. And I wanted to say thank you to Latitude. We got their Ranger 22 and their profile platform, and it is sexy AF and very practical and functional. I did a YouTube review on our Okayest Hunter YouTube channel, going over all the stuff that made sense to me as an Okayest Hunter. I suppose if you wanted to do one, yours would look very different because you're a pretty technical guy.
Yeah, maybe not.
There's lots of them out there. I wasn't trying to do anything better than anybody else. I just wanted to give people my perspective on it.
Sure.
There's some really great features there to be had, and I'm very, very, very enthused about how it all fits together as a system.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Spartan Forge, go to their Cyber Scout and ask them how you should hunt your rut. And see what it says. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Obviously, now is a great time to be looking at their app for like full range movement, core movement, and getting an idea of what that forecast looks like. I know when I left for vacation, that Thursday was meant to be one of the better days of the year to date, according to Spartan Forge and moon data and everything else. There was was that moon called the full body moon?
It was full moon.
No, it's a super moon, right?
Yeah, I think might have been it, but it was conducive to some pretty major movement.
Okay.
With the cooler weather and that, and I think weather is always going to drive more than the moon. To be honest with you, we had some nice cool weather, unlike now.
Yeah, 80 degrees the day I get back from a 60-degree state, so it's really interesting. And it just happens that my trail cam batteries died, so I'm really now I'm just flying blind per usual. I'm back to normal Eric stuff. No trail cams in the woods that are working. No fault other than my own. And yeah, it's cute, a Led Zeppelin song here.
Sure.
But got some comments coming.
Yeah, I see that. Thoughts on hunting during or right after a thunderstorm? It's supposed to storm on Halloween morning, but I already put my PTO in to hunt that day.
Hunt the storm, man.
You're gonna have to hunt what you got.
They moved just the same.
Yeah. I think this morning some of our trail cams are probably popping off with a little bit of movement because we had a little warm up before a weather event that's coming. High winds. So deer were up and moving around. I don't think they were moving as much just because.
Did you hunt today?
No.
That was Derek.
That was Derek. They I think they're going to move a little bit in the morning, low light hours when it's a little cooler, or, they're going to probably seek some water right now. But with a major weather event like a thunderstorm, you got to always use caution, right? I mean, if it's an electrical storm, you definitely.
Yeah, mine was a little sketchy. I must admit, it was bolts of lightning crashing down in the
Yeah.
distance, and I was pretty high up into a pretty big tree, and I was a little nervous about it, and it hailed. But that's the day that I had, and I'll be damned. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd kayaked down. I'm like, well, I'm not climbing down in this shit and kayaking back right now. I feel like that
No.
would have been more dangerous. So I climbed down for a little bit, and then it cleared up. I climbed back in. I know this isn't about me, but I'm just painting a picture of what had happened once the storm cleared. The deer were moving. It was a doe that had come through. It wasn't any bucks or anything like that. It was a small doe, and she didn't come into my shooting lane. She really tempted me. But is it like a free play? When it's raining and everything's wet and your scent's a little bit different and mitigated. You can be really quiet. There's just like you have.
I've heard
things
different trains of thoughts on it, but deer still move.
Yeah, it was very.
If they're hungry, they still want to get up and eat. If they got cover above them, they'll move around still. You were in a thicker area. Deer were still moving around those thicker areas.
And I saw plenty more in the distance that were not in range. That, they were certainly out and about. So.
And I've got plenty of trail cam footage suggesting that deer will still come and check out scrapes in the rain. I've gotten that over the years. Usually it's middle to end of October. When they're still working scrapes really well. But you definitely want to be out after a rain because they're certainly going to come over and freshen it up.
Yeah.
If you got one that in particular is working scrapes, that buck is going to want to come lay his scent right back down again because most of it got washed away.
Mm-hmm.
So right after rain, you definitely want to hunt those scrapes.
Good question. And Joel, thanks for coming over from Instagram. If you're just jumping in here, this is what I think we in the past when this was the Where to Hunt podcast, we did Rut Club Radio during I think the month of November. Every week we did people calling in and sharing rut reports. I see we have a call in queue. We'll get to that in just a minute here, but I didn't finish my sponsor call out. So Rack Hub, I just wrote an article for them about that antler behind Greg. And it was kind of fun telling the story.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they'll post it. It's for their website, and it's just kind of different and neat. And but it's a way to display antlers. And I just saw Bowhunter Planet, friends of ours, just hung up R2 where it holds 2 antlers.
Mm-hmm.
They were smarter about how they would have done it than I was, or would have been, because they measured the distance between the antlers as it were on the skull plate. So then when they put it up, they could have it actually be what it was. That was kind of smart. But anyway, if you're looking for a new way to mount your memories, Rack Hub's got some really cool stuff. And the RH1 is a great one for a single antler, which is behind Greg. The R2 is really great. They have different fittings and lots of different ways you can hang and mount memories. So
cool.
Go check them out. Again, code OHP across all of our partners, Latitude, Rack Hub, Spartan Forge, and Nosler. I think Muck also, you could use our code OHP for Muck boots, which you see in the corner on the screen here. So Muck's got, if you're looking for boots for your kids, let me tell you, you can buy the pair that looks like the pair you have, and your kids will not be happier than wearing the boots that dad or mom has. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So just a special call out there. You want to get to the call? I suppose we're going to be talking rut today. I don't know. I'm going to be trying to hunt this weekend. Now that I'm back from all this travel, I'm like, it's on like Donkey Kong, Holly. I'm hunting as much as I can, right? Please. I need this. So let's see what we can figure out here. We got, this guy. Keegan, what's up, buddy? Oh, wait. I can't hear you yet. Let me fix my shit. Hold on. Keegan, can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
And we can hear you now. Sorry. If you said something to me calling you whatever I just said, I'm sorry, but I couldn't hear you till I unmuted the thing. And if someone wants to comment, can y'all hear Keegan? That'd be great. But what's up, dude?
How are we doing, gentlemen?
Oh, we're doing. What do you know?
Well, I thought I'd give you a long-distance rut report from down here in Kansas.
Hey, we're in Kansas. Last time I heard,
wandered
you were in Montana.
down to the southern part of the Midwest. I was only in Montana for all of 24 hours.
Okay.
Jeez, would you have a Tinder date or something?
I had a pheasant hunt, but yeah, same thing.
Swiped right into a whole new state, huh?
Yeah, swipe right for pheasants, and swipe right again
There we
for
go.
chasing deer in Kansas.
That's the best new app out there. Swipe right to see what you're hunting today. All right, let's do it.
I think we could probably come up with that.
Yeah, we could. April Fools, but not really. It's real. Anyway, what do you got, buddy? How's it going down there?
Deer starting to chase. Some little ones running around, pretty standard pre-rut driving around. I definitely hit a small buck that was being dumb and clueless on the road the other night, and hasn't really started. Everybody hunting down here is kind of waiting for things to kick off. It's kind of similar in Iowa, so that's what we got.
I think some of the stuff I've been seeing is like there's some seeking, some chasing. For us here in Wisconsin, without fail, it seems to be that first 2 weeks in November where things really start cranking. But I've heard predictions of an early rut. I don't know if those are coming to fruition or not. I don't know. I don't have any trail cams that are working right now, so I don't have any good intel. And I've also been out of state, so I'm not really sure. I'm hopeful it's popping
I feel
off.
like there's predictions of an early rut every year that never come to fruition.
It's like Phil Puxatani.
Puxatani Phil.
Yeah.
The Groundhog Day.
Early spring, early rut. Shut up, Phil.
It's going to happen about the same time every year.
What would the equivalent of Phil be for deer hunting? Not a groundhog. What would it be?
I don't know.
Could we get like a duck?
Maybe a raccoon.
Raccoon or a blue jay.
What would we name him?
I don't know.
I like Phil. That's a good
Wrong
name.
raccoon, because he's never right.
Yeah, wrong raccoon.
It's got to be like an actual name. It's got to be like, Thomas or something.
Does it have to be an actual name if we're personifying a critter that doesn't know that we're idolizing it now for all of our deer hunting decisions?
I think so, because it's just better to swear at that proper noun than wrong raccoon. Like, I'd really like to say, like, damn it, Hank, you son of a bitch, you fucked me again. Can we just get a raccoon to hold up and be like, we predict an early rut? Because there's got to be another name with Ralph the Raccoon says, it's not happening this year. He came down from the treetop and he ate my banana.
Or something.
Yeah. Guys, this is
we could workshop this.
We're gonna have to workshop it.
I'm expecting our listeners to workshop it with us as they drive and commute, and they're like, Eric, you're so stupid. You got to name them, something cool. Like I don't have any other names in my head at all. My brain's about dead. Let me tell you.
Yikes.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that's concerning if it's more dead.
If it's more dead, yeah, you're telling me.
So what's on the docket for you this week?
I am chasing around the eastern half of Kansas, trying to get a bunch of pictures and cool footage, B-roll stuff for a bunch of real estate properties here and some agents. So basically, I'm driving around trying to take pictures of big bucks in Kansas.
Nice.
I like it. Like real estate properties for like hunting properties?
Yeah, mainly.
Not like a house, but like
could be.
Hey, you better show there's some bucks on this property because I got to list it on Whitetail Properties tomorrow or something.
In that same kind of realm, yeah. And then got some other projects cooking, but this one's kind of the more let's go chase some big deer, maybe find a good pond with some ducks on it and see if we can't get some good media out of it.
There you go.
Joel Johnson in the comments asked, what part of eastern Kansas can you say?
I would be in Burlington, so about an hour south of Topeka, an hour and a half west of Kansas City, and about the same from Wichita.
What's that song? I've been everywhere.
Yeah, that's Keegan.
That's Keegan for you.
What do you mean? The fact that I was in Oregon like a week ago and like 12 other states since August?
Yeah, California, Oregon. Yeah.
I want to see one of those like maps of the country where like it's you in like a cartoon shaped car with like a really big bobblehead with like the dotted line just going around the United States. Playing that song with a camera in your hand.
Well, I'm glad it might be might be too early to say, but you might see a image of Greg doing that in the coming weeks.
Ooh, are you working on the production of the Oregon hunt, or letting the cat out of the bag
Just,
here a little bit?
you know, just a little tease.
The airplane on the dotted lines, like I see in. That's a fun little like cut scene.
You got to play the Indiana Jones
You know,
music.
maybe a taco driving up and down the coast.
Yeah.
Were you in a lot of tacos, Greg?
Well, no, we were in a Tacoma.
Oh, that makes more. I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know anything about this hunt. I just know the stories I heard.
Okay.
I saw some more photos come through the whatever the smug mug you're using. That was pretty cool. I posted one this morning.
Yeah, there was quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for the rut report, Keegan. We got another caller behind you, so we're gonna keep.
Yeah, get to him.
Keep trucking.
All right,
you
buddy.
Fun in your...
Well, safe travels. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, boys.
Thanks for the call, buddy.
See ya.
Yeah.
Noah, you're live on the podcast. What do you got for your rut report? First, let's do it this way. So everyone else that's listening, let's do where are you from? What are you seeing?
Well, you guys know I'm from Wisconsin with you guys. Specifically, actually just today saw my trail cam pictures up north around Tomahawk area. Sure looked like a buck chasing a doe.
Do you have video mode? Can you request a video?
No, it was on picture only. And only sends me like every 6 hours, so.
That's smart. Your batteries won't die like mine did. I was like, ooh, video, video.
That's exactly why they died so fast.
Yeah, I killed them.
Well,
hey,
yeah.
Well, that's good to see. Cool.
I'm excited going up Thursday. Hopefully can get some movement on the cold front this weekend.
Yeah, do you have like a rutcation you're taking, or what is it? What does it look like for you in the next couple weeks?
Just be going up on weekends. Still laid off, so might be able to sneak up during the weeks a few times too. So.
Okay, so are you on call being laid off, or like you got to stick in the area, or
can
you just go full send if you're laid off?
Yeah, I work construction, so it's
kind of got to be around a little bit.
Whenever another company needs me.
Gotcha. How far of a drive is it in case they needed you? What kind of notice are they giving
3
you?
hours.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, like, they'd call me during the week and be like, yeah, could you go the next Monday?
Okay. I mean,
That's
you should
usually
go.
how it's done.
You should go tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I got a cat to take care of down here too, so.
Does Rover offer cat services?
I don't think they'd call it Rover then. They would call it Meow Meow or something like that.
Right, you'd think, but I'm wondering if Rover has, they'll like walk your dog, sit your dog, all that stuff. I wonder if there's a cat Rover. We just left. We were gone for 6 days. We just dumped a fuck ton of food in our cat bowls and just left.
Wow.
And then Derek happened to swing by here one of the days, and I was like, can you just put some more cat food in that dish in case they ate it all? And we came back, and there was food. They still had food. They didn't eat it all. So we just really overfed them to try to make sure we could stretch it because we didn't have
That's
anybody.
why they aren't getting around very well. They're all overfed.
Everybody that we needed to cat sit was also with us. So it was a big event that we went to, as everyone was here. Our cats are
still alive.
Nice
Nice black deer that Derek shot out there.
Yeah.
Blacktail.
Yeah. That was
both of you guys.
That was an awesome experience. We both got bucks.
You cooked some up the
So
other
I know
day.
nothing about blacktails.
Well,
are Forkies like that a good deer?
They definitely grow bigger. I think the biggest you're going to see a blacktail is probably about 200 pounds, and that's a very mature animal.
What about inches wise?
Inches wise, I mean, they don't get as big as whitetails. There are deer that are, 130 to 150 inch class. I think there's some that even eke out a bigger set of antlers.
They're kind of related more to the mule deer, or?
Well, from what we understand is it's when they're crossbred with mule deer, that's when you start to see more mule deer traits like wider spreads, and you'll get, the muley forks on their second point.
It's like when Homo sapiens crossbred with Neanderthals, and we got redheads. They're just a little bit bigger and weirder.
Wow, this just got weird. Anyway, but no, I mean, we were coastal blacktail. I think 180-pound deer is a really good deer. If I were to guess what mine weighed, it might have been 140 to 160 pounds. I'm not really exactly sure. Mine was like a 2-year-old or 2.5-year-old deer.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed a 3-point. So, it had 3 points on one side. I couldn't tell what the other side had on it just because it was running through brush. But that deer was a little bit bigger body-wise, but not by much. It just probably had a little bit better antler genetics. But some of the guys were showing us pictures of some really nice bucks that they've taken. And those are probably 3 to 5-year-old deer or even older. So not bad for our first ones.
Even those coastal blacktail were getting a little ruddy, weren't they? Like the video you shared, the one rubbing the hell out of that tree.
Tearing up a tree.
Yeah.
Once they start getting cold and a little bit of rain in the air, those bucks start turning a little ruddy. So it's their rut is very similar to our rut in timing wise.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a time of the year when these deer are breeding, because like you think about just the peak breeding season, this is kind of, we're entering it.
Yep.
So that's cool. Well, good to hear, Noah. So you got some activity happening in the northern-ish part of the state, and Wisconsin. That's the state we're talking about.
Yep. Sure looks like it.
And I heard, has the highway been looking pretty littered with deer? Have you guys seen? I've not been around, so I don't know.
There's
I've been seeing some good bucks around, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's always sad when you don't get a crack at them yourself.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Thanks for the call and the report. It's always good to hear from you. Sure, we'll see you around at next trade show and on future episodes. But good luck this weekend when you go out on Thursday. If you can get out sooner, just get up there, man. Find someone to take care of your cat. Pour some more food. You'll be all right.
Now's the time to put the time in. They're moving morning, and if we get some cold, they might start moving more during the day here too. They're always moving during the day if you're in the right spot.
You just have to see them moving.
You just have to see them.
Yeah.
That is the trick.
Yep.
Definitely been having some okayest moments too.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a hunt if you didn't have any of those.
Especially duck hunting last night. I actually got off for my second time. That was an interesting time.
Yeah.
Maybe the upduck guy should do a call-in episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there's nothing that'll humble you better than a fast-flying duck.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cool, bud. Thank you for calling in. We'll hopefully get some more calls here, but Greg and I are going to chit-chat about how the hell we're going to tackle this rut. We juggle calls.
Yeah, I'll be listening. So.
All right,
thanks,
bud.
Buddy. See you.
We'll talk to you.
Yep.
So, Greg, do you have a general plan for the rut? Any PTO?
No PTO.
What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna kind of hunt when I can because I've got things to do. But I have a good idea where there's some does bedding often, and I think I'm gonna try and hunt the fringes of that and try and get in front of a buck. There's a lot of food still available, even though a lot of crop fields are picked right now. There's still a lot of standing corn. Mm-hmm. There's still acorns on the ground.
I think your mic is in your beard a little bit.
And
a little beard sound.
Is it annoying you a little bit?
I mean, it might annoy someone. I just figured I'd mention that your beard is part of the conversation.
Thanks. Yeah, and with these next couple of days being warm, hunting a water source isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, it's true.
But the chances of seeing something midday right now, unless there's a lot of cover around, like in the middle of a cattail slough, you got bedding around you, then you might have a pretty good chance of seeing something getting up in the middle of the day to go get a drink, or just start nudging around looking for does if there's a hot doe in the area. They start to heat up now. So
has there been any grunting or anything like that going on?
I've not heard anything the few times I've been out so far.
And when we were out with me last season, we kayaked
there was
together,
grunting everywhere.
It was like, holy shit. You know, in fact, usually I'm like shaking my boots, and I actually got a little bit numb to it. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah, there's
guys!"
another one. Yeah, seriously.
It was like a totally
Contact grunts running all over the place. They're just running around and grunting.
just crazy. We got another caller, and we'll continue to flesh out our plans
Sure.
on the podcast. We got Joel Johnson. Some watch on YouTube. Joel, you're live on the podcast. Where are you calling from? What do you got going on?
Hey, buddy, I was on there talking to you guys on YouTube, and I was watching the Instagram, and I'm in Central Kansas.
Cool.
Sweet. So you're not too far. Well, I don't know Kansas at all, but Keegan's down there, so somewhere.
Yep, I was the one who asked where he was at, because I've got a little bit of property spread all over the place.
Nice.
So I was just wondering where he was at.
Yeah. Well,
So I just had a quick question for you guys over your blacktail subject. If we could jump back there for a second, that's what really intrigued me to call.
Yeah.
You're saying, you guys are saying blacktail are a cross between muley and whites, and yet, so do they have like, with your blacktail? I mean, out here in like really southwestern Kansas, I'm talking like 45 minutes to an hour from the Colorado border, and right on the Oklahoma line is where I grew up. And I mean, there has been some absolute megas killed down there. And I've always thought that I was like, they look like a muley whitetail cross.
Yeah. And blacktails are not a muley whitetail cross. They're more related to, they're more related to the mule deer. And it's funny when you see one take off, they do the mule deer hop. It's kind of funny. They hop like a mule deer, and then once they kind of get over some of the harder terrain that they're hopping over, then they'll run like a whitetail. It's very interesting. So they have characteristics of both, but I would say they're like a coastal mule deer, but they're a blacktail. I mean, there is definitely some differences. Their bodies aren't as big. Their antler growth definitely isn't as big. Sometimes they don't grow the forks like a mule deer does. They just get straight points, but they lack the eye guards. And mule deer are the same way. They don't always have eye guards, or they have very short eye guards, brow tines.
Sorry, I've been at this for a long time.
Yeah.
But I always have dumb questions for the layperson. Are eye guards the same as brow tines?
Yes.
That's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. I was like, eye guards, are they brow tines?
And what's interesting is if it has brow tines or eye guards, some guys out west don't count that. So they'll look at anything up above on the main
big brow
beam.
tines are really sexy on a deer.
Yeah. But
I like 10, 12-inch brow tines. Yeah.
Right. Why not? So you look at the side and, say your buck right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We see 4 on one side. They'll call that a 4x4, even though it's got brow tines. That's just how they call it out.
Gotcha.
Which
like
is
that 3 you said.
Yeah. So that deer may or may not have had brow tines. I didn't see him because he was kind of moving along. Yeah. It was moving along at about 80, 90, 100 yards. He was probably about 100 yards by the time I finally got to settle in on him. But
100 yards in a big timber like that.
Yeah.
That's
trying to pick a shot through the stuff, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's got to be a whole different ball game up there in Wisconsin than it is up down here in Kansas, because you can see them run away from a country mile.
Yeah,
You're not putting a tree stand in one of those trees.
No.
What's the girth on that?
Yeah, one. Yeah, that's the key words. One of the trees.
Yeah, when you're talking Kansas.
Yeah, we got one to choose from.
Yeah, you get one, and I mean, you guys have potential to take 500-yard shots pretty easily. Where here, I mean, I've got one spot where I could take, I would say, effectively a 300-yard shot. Anything more than that is not in a safe area. And it's up on a hill. There's houses up there. I'm not taking that shot. If it's down below the hill in the lowest part of the field, then I'll take the shot, and that's usually about 300 yards. And it's pretty rare it's pretty rare that it happens, because we have marshes and we have smaller blocks of ag land and timber here in between our public marshes, and our marshes consist mostly of cattails. And a sea of cattails is pretty hard to track a deer down in. I mean, you can spot them. I've done it, but they're usually a long ways away. And if you shoot a deer in the cattails that you see out, you know,
So,
3,
like,
4,
you have no frame of reference.
you have no frame of reference.
Yeah.
You have zero, unless you got like 1 or 2 trees in the area, one or 2 little willows. But once you get down in that stuff's anywhere from 8 to 14 feet tall. I mean, some of the cattails this year were 14 feet tall in my area. And like you get down there, it's a sea of cattails. It's all a wall. You can't see where you're going. You'd have to use a compass or an app or something, and it's very difficult. Where if you're, you know, in CRP, like you guys probably have plenty of CRP land down there. It's grass, and there's at least something on the horizon to see that you can kind of pick a waypoint.
Hopefully,
so
you
to
get a
speak.
good enough shot that all you see is blood on the grass,
Yeah.
and you're like, "That's where it is."
Still, not only that, you get a good enough shot. You just watch them go down.
You watch
Yeah.
it fall.
Just gotta walk
Exactly.
till I hit that dead
CRP,
body.
half the time you just watch them run and fall over.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've killed a couple of those this year already where I've seen them just fall down. You know, like
Nothing wrong with
100,
that.
like not even 100 yards. Shot them at 22, they ran 80, and then you just watch them fall over. You're like, well, there it is.
Yep. That's
By
that's
the
a
way,
good deal.
a comment came through. Engineering Squid said OHP code does work on the whitetail country ammo from Nosler.
Perfect.
So, wow, that's incredible because 20% off the $30-some dollar. That's you're doing yourself a favor for
Yeah.
sure.
A little bit goes a long way.
I'm wondering what that's going to be like at the end of the year when we talk to them. Like, how many code redemptions were there?
Yeah. Well, hopefully a bunch. Hopefully everybody gets out, gets to use it, enjoys it, and buys some more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't slouch on their stuff. They build great ammunition. But
Well, Joel, thanks for calling in, man. So, like, rut stuff for you though, going back to that and away from the black.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
what's it?
No, I was like, I'm down here in Reno County and Rice County, so I'm like a county and a half over from Sedgwick, Wichita. And I was like, times have been tingling, you know, it's all been good stuff. You know, we've got some hellacious scrapes on some of the places we're at, so that's really nice to see. And yeah, but nothing in daylight yet. But I promise you, next week and like next week, first week of November, second week of November, that's when it really fires up down here. The 12th through the 20th is really when the big boys start getting on their feet, and I am excited about that.
cool.
And what's pressure like
I'm
for
just-
you?
I'm-
What's hunting pressure? Is it thick as thieves, or like what are you navigating against the pressure side of things?
So I'm spoiled to begin with. So I pretty much have like, you know, like I said, I have a little bit of everything around everywhere here in Kansas. So like I have like 3,000 acres private where I can pretty much run wherever I want to. But I was gonna say, if you're talking public land, yeah, like everybody and their dog has seen Chris B's video, and you know, like all these other giants that have been killed over here with like, you know, like what not whitetail habitat solutions. I'm trying to think here, like Heartland Bowhunter hunts the crap out of down here. You know, just like other like Whitetail Fit had a big one last year. You know, like there's all sorts of stuff going on down here that there's so many out of staters during like the next 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
I
You
bet.
see plays from Idaho to Washington to Montana. Like, you know, just this is everybody's dream hunt. And I'm just blessed enough to have made connections. So
No kidding.
That's cool. I mean, you're not gonna have people being like, you know, who really got big ones in Wisconsin is Okayest Hunter. We better hunt their spots.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We have the tell you what, we'll go down there and we'll deter everybody from wanting to hunt down there. Be like, you know what, those Okayest Hunter guys are down here. We're not hunting that damn area. Like, if there's a hot
Hey,
spot, just let us know.
make it down.
We'll fix
You
it.
guys make it down here. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll try to hook you up on something. How
All
about
right.
it?
Sounds good.
Send
Just
us
save your preference points.
Send
All
us
right.
a note on Instagram so we can know how to follow you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I guess, yep. This is Joel friggin' Johnson, baby.
All right, buddy.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Have a good night, man. Thanks for the call.
You as well, bud. Bye.
Yeah, a couple calls coming in. That's nice.
That's
People
great.
reporting on the
Yeah.
rut. Report on the rut.
It's just
the numbers
starting,
in the
man. I
comments.
mean, like I pulled some cameras right when we got back last week, and there's definitely plenty of night movement going on. Like they're annihilating.
Working on the night.
Yeah, they're annihilating scrapes at night in some cases. You know, these are field edge scrapes, so I'm not expecting daylight movement.
Was it you that shared one this morning that the buck was like he was out in daylight freshening up a scrape, but not near you?
Yeah, just sniffing out a spot that I have a cam on, but not like I put a mock there,
Mhm.
and it's weird that property, they don't touch scrapes. They absolutely don't. But literally, as the crow flies 10 miles away,
Is that a territorial thing?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not
There's
their territory.
or maybe it's not their territory. They're just wandering through. But the funny part is this other spot that's literally 10 miles away as the crow flies.
Mhm.
There's bucks on that camera that I've never had on that camera, at all, most of fall and part of summer, and all of a sudden they're just showing up. So, but it could be too that the bucks don't necessarily need to lay scrapes there because there's so many does. They just wander around and find a doe. They don't mess around with that extra activity. They don't waste the energy on it. Where this other spot, there's definitely not as many does as there used to be.
Okay.
The herd is better balanced. There's more bucks than does in that area, and it's constant competition. They're always tearing up scrapes, and then when one comes and tears it up, it's progression.
Yeah, it's just perpetual.
It's the 1.5-year-old, then it's the 2.5-year-olds, and then now the 3.5-year-olds, and you'll get an occasional older buck to come in and just kind of go, hey, no, this is mine, and he does his thing, but you won't see him back on the camera for another 5, 6, 7 days. Or the rest of these jokers it's a circuit. They're constantly tending and maintaining those scrapes.
Okay.
So, but it's all at night in these spots, and it's designed that way. So I'm not wandering through, all the good stuff to go screw it up.
Yeah, that's like the whole put certain cameras down in summer that they'll migrate to.
Yeah, I know they're gonna
put maybe the cell
deer
cam.
always making it to the food.
Yeah.
They're always making it to the fields. The does are always making it to the fields.
Yep.
The fawns are there, so the bucks naturally are gonna make it there too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I don't have much of a plan as the crow flies because you just said it. I figured I'd put it on the screen.
Well, your plan is to get in and hunt that spot as much as you can.
Well, as much as I can.
Just off of historical.
I have some history there, and a season of history,
which is better than zero.
Yep, and I have additional intel on other parts of the property because of some cell cam intel that I got before the batteries died. So I at least have some concept of what's roaming around the area.
Yeah, I think if you're on it like this time this week yet, this might be like the last. It could be the last weekend where they go, yeah, we're going to hang out here for a little bit longer until all these does are bred, and then or those does are getting chased off by other younger bucks or whatever. Then they're going to start roaming a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that property is big enough. You got plenty of options to go set up.
There's so much bedding in there.
Yeah.
Lots and lots.
And that's how some of my property is too, is like,
you're right. Yeah.
Where are they going to bed?
Anywhere. Fucking anywhere, which makes it really hard to set up.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Damn direction.
Yeah. You set up and go.
I remember you told me, you got to go in deeper. I'm like, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Deep could be not deep. It could be like, I don't know. It's a really, really confusing area to hunt because you just don't.
When it's that dense a cover, it's very hard.
They could take any path and feel comfortable.
We've scouted these places in spring, and there's beds everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can take an educated guess and go, okay, this is closer to food, so is it a late in the evening bed? Is it early morning bed where they just kind of catch a little nap on the way back and wait for things a little bit, and then they get up and keep walking? I've got a couple of videos of bucks laying in scrapes. I had one last night that laid down in the scrape area.
This one's mine right
and
here.
He was there from 10 o'clock, I don't know, maybe it was like 9:30 all the way to midnight.
Jeez.
Just a little 5-point, and he just hung out there.
That 5-point thinks he's got the big buck strategy.
Oh yeah, he did.
I'm gonna just lay here.
He did. But he had the wind correct, with the way the wind's blowing through that area. It was kind of blowing over his back. There's a few times where he spun around and kind of repositioned himself in the general area, but for the most part, that south to southwest breeze, he knew if somebody was coming, upwind to him, and either if it was friend or foe, he'd be able to get up and boogie on out of there.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been giving up much from the wind standpoint. That doe that was in almost shooting range of me on the way I set up. I did a big J hook to get into the spot. I didn't lay any scent down anywhere I shouldn't have. I left the area that I was going to be intended at shooting towards in all 180 degrees untouched by me.
Mm-hmm.
And I set up, got really high up in the tree. I 4 sticks from latitude with 1/8er on the bottom that I'm comfortable using 1/8er on the bottom step. I was probably 25 6-ish feet up once you get to the platform and stand. So you had my 6 feet up to my head. I felt like I was really high up there. And I felt like I'm high enough that they're not going to look up here. I was well concealed, well covered. I felt really confident about the spot. The wind wasn't doing any weird swirling stuff. It was to my nose. So anything that would have come from assumed bedding area would have been great. It's just been on me to not fuck it up, And I just saw someone post a video of a buck coming out and the person never drew back. Maybe they just were passing on certain deer. I don't really know.
I saw
was
that
like, what
one.
would you do? And everyone's like, well, then I started shooting. See?
Yeah.
Kind of like, but in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. When would you draw back? He's right there and he's coming.
That's a matter of patience.
And that's just, those things are really hard to know in my mind. Those are the things the mechanics I'm learning is when to draw back, when to shoot. I can get in there. I can be ready, but that's the red line stuff for me that I'm still like tripping over because I don't have that experience yet.
Well, and
I have some, but not enough to feel like I
and it's a
totally
matter
know.
of just, I mean, some cases like you know that your opportunity is only getting shorter and sometimes better just by shot angle.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
you want a quartering away shot more than so that buck.
100%.
Then that video presented a quartering to and a quartering away.
Yeah,
but you're like, I don't know. What if I don't get another shot?
Yeah, do you whack them before it's too as he's quartering to,
right?
Or do you wait till right before he's going to jump that fence and then touch off on it? That's probably the ideal situation because at that point
whenever
he
we
is
got to
the
watch
shortest
the whole video,
distance.
Of course, I would have waited till he was quartering, but you don't know that he would have in that moment.
Yeah, you don't know. He could have caught your scent right at the fence and went, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah,
and turned around. So at that point, you should have been already at full draw.
Yeah. In fact, and that's tough too. Like when it's rut, bucks will just show up out of the thin blue.
Yeah. So you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Like it's tough. So sometimes you want to be at full draw. Like if you're lucky enough to see him coming, you can be, but that's not always the case.
No, if you're hunting dense cover, it's very, very difficult. You're hunting pine trees or whatever it is. All of a sudden, they just show up. There
JC with Bear Archery, who runs the marketing over at Bear, she posted a buck she got, and she if you read her post, she talks about how like she was covered up in 11 deer that out of nowhere they all just kind of like dispersed into her area. She's like, oh shit, there's deer everywhere. And she's like, it was the most boring hunt ever until it wasn't. 11 deer, boom, a big guy comes out. And she's like, I don't even know when I could have drawn because there's so many eyeballs right there. And she executed perfectly and obviously killed the thing. She had a grip and grin with it. It was a really great buck. So like, I those are the things that I will struggle with. Is you see some of these guys actually, Adam with Bowhunter Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the video of him drawn back with his a trad bow?
I don't think I have.
He just put this precision hit on this deer in like a second. And it's like, fuck, I'm not that good. I played a lot of Call of Duty when I was in my young 20s or whatever, 20s. And I was the guy that the headshot had to be just right before I'd let it rip. And then therefore I wouldn't take most of the shots or like I wouldn't. There's guys that just headshot. They can just go. They can execute, make that decision.
It's a snap decision.
It's
and that's how it is with trad. Like if you think it, you've already overthought it. Like it literally has to be instinct. Pull, anchor, release. Like pull, anchor, see the target.
I'm hovering,
feel it,
I'm wavering,
release.
I'm like, oh fuck.
And I can tell you my experience shooting a trad bow just recently at Foam Fest. As soon as I thought about it, it was already over, and that arrow was going in the wrong place. But as soon as I saw the target, burned a hole through it, settled in, and let it go.
Shooting a compound.
Yeah, and it's not. It's totally different. Totally different.
It's tough when you're out there and things happen quick.
Yep.
But the rut is like that. It happens quick. Things can pop off out of nowhere. You can hear a buck grunt, and suddenly it's like it's game on. That's how that one was when a grunter. This one came into grunting. He didn't grunt himself, but there's enough activity for him to come in and
investigate.
But both were rut time bucks.
Yep.
Like they were post November election day buck, and then November 12th.
Yep.
So I'm like convinced that I don't want to really invest too much time at this point because time is limited and I have to use what I can as I can. Therefore, I really want to wait till like mid first week to second week of November to try to burn the brownie points that I have.
Sure.
So, or spend them, whatever I don't know. But I'm enthused to be out there. I don't know what I'm going to get into. I know that there's 3 really, shootable bucks for me all day long. I mean, they're like 2.5, 3, 4-year-old bucks. 2.5 to 4 is what I would say, and I would shoot any of them. I don't care. Because I know I'll get like maybe 3 more hunts this year, and that'll be a total of 5. It's been a rough year for me. So it's like, how's the hunting season going? I'm like, what hunting season?
Yeah.
I haven't really had one this year. It's been tough.
Part of being busy with the family and everything else. You know how that goes.
It's tough. So that's a reality. So when someone says something like, yeah, why'd you shoot that one? Well, why don't you audit my life and that'll give you your answer.
Yeah.
Why don't you audit my life and then you'll know why I shot this deer.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I don't have any damn time and I really want more meat in my freezer.
Yeah.
You do a good job of showing your cooking. I don't do as good of a job of showing the cooking.
It's not that hard.
How was the blacktail, by the way?
Delicious.
What'd you do with it?
Same thing I always do. Nothing
Same thing
crazy.
I do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Right. No, a little bit of olive oil goes a long way. Some salt and pepper.
Olive oil
S&P is a
versus
choice for me.
avocado oil. I've seen you use both. What is the difference for you?
I like the olive oil. Just tastes better. Avocado, we're finding isn't maybe as healthy for you in some cases. It does have a higher smoke point, meaning you can get it hotter.
Before it starts
before it turns bad, really.
Yeah.
Before it starts to burn.
Yeah, because then that's not good. I have butter that'll turn brown real quick, and that's not good.
Burned olive oil tastes terrible. Makes everything taste bad.
What's the smoke point then?
Temperature wise, I couldn't tell you. I don't recall. But
how long on what? Medium heat? You give it 5 minutes?
That's such a very open-ended question because your medium heat on a gas stove versus medium heat on an electric stove.
Do you have an electric?
Yeah, I got an electric.
I got a gas.
I wish I had a gas range top someday, but it's one of those things where you just kind of put it in. Once it starts you can kind of see it cascading in there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it swirling.
That's when you drop the meat in.
Yeah, usually, or you just test it with a little bit of water. If you can flick a little droplet of water in there and it fizzles, then it's time to throw your food in.
Kind of like pancakes.
Right away.
When the water sizzles away on a pancake.
Yep. Time for it to go.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
So it was good though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did it taste any different coming from like?
Honestly,
I don't know.
My wife had said that it tastes less gamey than a whitetail. So, well,
their diet's different.
Their diet is different. Yeah, I mean they're from mountain country and they're eating no grains whatsoever. So I mean they're eating berries. They're eating some. They're eating a lot of grasses, probably some ferns and whatever little forbs and twigs that they can get, but they do have plenty of acorns with all the tan oaks that are there.
Okay.
So
I'm just messaging someone here on the chat.
Okay.
Just asking Derek if he wants to call in and give us a report.
Illinois was really fun.
Mainly because I have to pee really bad and I don't want to leave you hanging by yourself.
Okay.
Because I'm be like,
big chicken energy.
And if he calls in and I walk away, then I won't be able to bring him in. So I don't know if he's good or not, but I don't know. You could talk about something for 4 minutes or 3.
No, Illinois is definitely warmer than we are. So is Kansas.
I'll put the camera on. You'll be right back.
All right.
You gotta just talk.
All right. So it's a lot warmer down there than it is here. They're predicting in the Northwoods. It sounds like in the 30s, maybe highs in the 30s on Thursday. So that ought to get some deer moving. We know somebody that's up there hunting right now. Shout out to our buddy at Wisco Bow Hunting, Eric Tasker. He's up there right now on his rutcation, and it looked like it was just as blazing hot as it was down here. Only they didn't get the wind where we have 20-some mile-an-hour winds. So I'd still say if you got movement going on in your area, hunt the wind anyway. You can get away with a little bit more in the wind. If you like to still hunt, maybe still hunting isn't a bad way to go. You just got to move real slow so you don't get too sweaty. And, you might have a deer at least pop up right in front of you where you could get a shot, but you can get a lot closer to them. You can get into some better stand locations maybe if it's windy out. You can get away with more noise.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. You feel better?
That's why the podcast is an hour long, because I usually can't go much longer before I have to take a pee. It's COVID ruined it for me, because my brain's like, you can go pee whenever you want now. So that's what I think.
Blame it on the vid.
That's what I think. Or it's old age. I don't really know. Or it's a Red Bull that I had before I started recording.
Derek needs a number.
Oh, Derek, you should know the number. It's on the screen. It's in the comments. I always wonder about that because it is in like the show description, and I put it on the screen, and we say it all the time, but I'll put it in the comments here on YouTube. 757-4122 is the call-in number. If you want to share a rut report from where you are, what activity you're seeing in the woods or on your trail cams, cell cams, we'd love to hear about it. No, Tony, you're right. I didn't wash my hands, which I usually, almost always do, but that was quick. My wife gets that fancy Bath and Body Works soap. It smells so delicious. Actually, when I'm like going hunting, I'm like, ooh, I can't use that. It's so fragrant that I think I'm gonna scare the deer off with like whatever scent she has purchased for the season. It's always seasonal soaps.
Stinks.
Yeah. There's not a lot of scentless deodorants, by the way.
No, there are not.
That actually work. In fact, I found 0 companies that have a spray deodorant.
No, you will not find a spray deodorant that
Why
will hold up
isn't
and mark.
there a scentless spray deodorant?
It costs money.
It should be like cost less money to not add scent to it. Just give me the antiperspirant without the
They
shit.
got to engineer that stuff.
Oh my God. I'm like this close from like getting an investor to start a freaking scent-free spray deodorant company. I swear to God. That I want, so I want to do it.
Not there, big fella.
Fix this air that keeps on. I don't know. I got some arrows on the ground. Yeah, real funny, Tony. Just kidding.
Real funny, Tony.
Derek, you're live on the show. Where are you calling from? What do you got?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Hey,
sorry
fella.
I'm not in studio tonight. I am at home after another hunting trip in Illinois, so I'm hanging out with the family.
Cool. So, rut activity down there, is it just starting?
Rut activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, rut activity is it's starting to happen down there. The big bucks are already like really attached with does. I don't know if they're breeding, but they're like on the does. So the biggest buck I saw the whole trip was following a really large mature doe around like she was hot almost. He wasn't acting like it, but he followed her everywhere she went. And then this morning I saw a big buck chasing a doe across the pasture. So I think the big ones they're ready.
They're ready to plant their seed, huh?
Yeah.
So you're saying the
Well,
does aren't fully
they're
there yet, but the bucks are ready?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It didn't like if she was actually in estrus, I think there would have been a lot of bucks chasing her. But it was just the one, so I think he kind of knows. The older ones kind of know which does are going to pop first, and I think they're just biding their time, licking their chops.
So what does that do from like if I'm hunting? Like I don't know, am I going to see more activity of bigger bucks just on hoof, like trying to track down these potential in estrus does, or is it really once the does start popping up, then it's all hell breaks loose? Like what? I don't know. Just behaviorally, what am I hoping for as a deer hunter? I'm hoping for the latter, I think, but I don't know. Can I capitalize on the former?
Well, I mean, as far as the former goes, I think this is when the older. My wife is videotaping me right now, like some kind of spectacle. But I think this is your.
You said you weren't going to podcast tonight. Here's proof. You're still doing it.
Here he is, podcasting from home. What an idiot! Talking about hunting again.
Question: are you on a ladder
Yay.
changing a light bulb while talking about deer?
You're the worst. I love you.
Do you have any black
you.
cats yet, or it's just all the other ones?
No, there's still only 4, but those other 2 are knocking on the door, aren't they, sweetheart? Oh, 2 weeks, yay! No, I think what we were saying before, I think right now is when your best chance to get a mature deer who's not running around like an idiot, but he's still moving more than normal, looking for those first does. This is, in my opinion, one of the best times to try to get on one. Once the does come into heat, then it's, like you said, all hell breaks loose, and then there's bucks chasing. Good luck. You were talking about when to draw your bow before, Eric, on the show. They're chasing and running? Yeah, good freaking luck. That's like the hardest time ever.
That's when I called you guys at one time when I was on the ground.
You're
I'm like,
not
there's
stopping
bucks
that.
everywhere. And you're like, get it together, man. I'm like, I can't. I don't know what to do. And it's just too crazy. It's like chaos. And it's like, it's exciting, but also
Yeah.
like they might literally be sprinting past you, or whatever it's called when a buck runs. Like, when a horse is, it's called loping. I think when they're going fast, there's galloping and loping and cantering. I don't know what it's called when a deer's at full bore, just running. They're just running fast.
Yeah, it gets really hard to know where they're going to pop out, what distance. That just gets insane. I actually hate that. It's really stressful.
I like it because you can really capitalize on their stupidity. When they're in their moment, you can get into yours. Is kind of how I think about it. And so, like the one I've posted this video several times in many different formats, but the buck that was grunting underneath me, I drew back on him I think 6 times, and he had no clue. And I let one loose and missed him. That buck was totally a younger fella, probably 2.5, grunting his little mouth off at anything that would maybe come by. And then the bigger guy didn't do things that way at all. Like, it wasn't, he was playing a different game. But when they're stupid, you can maybe capitalize, and that's what I like, because I'm stupid. So stupid gets stupid.
Yeah,
stupid is a stupid
why
does.
November works. That's why November works. Deer get stupid. People are already stupid, and then they just meet up. Perfect.
Meet you in the long journey to the middle. Paul Hens or something. I don't know how to say your last name, Paul. Hopefully I got it right.
Hensey.
Do you know Paul?
No.
You just pronounce it better?
It's pretty easy to pronounce.
Oh, okay.
I can see straight. Maybe you can't. I don't know.
We had one bourbon. The whitetail bucks here in western Montana are starting to hang out with the does and are scent checking does, but the does are not ready for them. So that's kind of congruent or congruent? Parallel? No, that's congruent. That's congruent with
it concurs with what we've got going on here.
Concurrent with what Derek is saying. Congruent is not the correct word.
There you go.
That's a good choice, though. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Concurrent is the word I was probably looking for.
We all rattled in bucks down in Illinois while we were down there, but they were all younger bucks that came in.
That's so exciting, though. Like, to know that they're responding to things they were doing. That's
have
cool.
them come in to
because you don't know they're small until they get
there. I was at full draw, ready to lace one because it came in through the thick stuff. I was up in a really thick bedding area, of course, and a rattle, and I could hear a deer moving toward me, and I catch a glimpse of antler. I'm like, oh man, here he comes. So I'm at full draw. He pops out at 27 yards, and I'm kind of looking at him, and I was like, not really that big, but I'm already full drawn. Should I just let her rip?
You should have.
And then
you got like a good devil and a bad devil on your shoulders. There's no angels, just devils. But it's like, you're part of the Okayest Hunter crew. You should shoot this one. and your wife's at home waiting for you to kill a deer.
The pack out is what I was worried about because it's like a giant rose briar patch.
Mm-hmm.
So like they just rip you to shreds. So I was really worried that it was just going to be horrible. So he ended up coming right underneath me. So then I let down when he was directly underneath me because it was the only time he couldn't see me. But it was a nice little 9-pointer.
Oh yeah, shit, 9. I mean, I think maybe you did share that video, and I was like, I would have smoked that thing.
Yeah,
he shared pictures with the group. And
yeah,
I knew you were going. Oh, I think that would pass. That would pass muster. I think that one's getting an arrow thrown at it. Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing arrows at all sorts of shit.
Boys, thanks for BSing with me for a minute, but I got to go get the daughter out of the bathtub.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Well, good luck
Thank
with that. See ya.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Bye.
You too.
So Illinois is, again, a hot state, and it sounds like generally it is October 29th. We've not crossed into November, and the does aren't ready for the bucks yet. Sounds like marriage. Gotta wait on the women, guys. You just gotta wait.
Yep.
You gotta wait for them to tell you.
Yep.
And we'll be ready to go.
When they're ready, then you go.
We're ready all the time.
That's right.
But the bucks they're starting to like get a little froggy about it.
Oh yeah.
A little rapey.
Maybe.
I mean, it's nature. It's a different world.
Different world.
I've seen some real sketchy duck action in the
ducks
in
are
the wild.
Yeah, ducks are very rapey.
Why are they so? Dude, I was like, man, these ducks
man.
are raping that. What's a female duck called?
It's a hen.
A hen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. I was like, wow, you guys are fucking assholes.
They're not nice.
Good. It was weird. And then they mate for life after that? Like, sorry, I abuse you, but now you're
not
gonna be
ducks.
Don't they? Aren't they?
No. Geese, swans.
Monogamous? I
Geese
thought ducks were
swan.
monogamous.
No.
Like a penguin.
Not at all.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Which one's made for life? Geese?
Geese.
No way.
Yes, geese and swans.
And swans. I could see swans because they make the heart with their necks.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that feels romantic to me.
Sure.
And they're white. Like it's just a beautiful wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Ducks, though, I mean, the mallards are pretty as shit. They're really gorgeous birds with all their pretty feathers, but they're douchebags.
They're still fun to hunt, and they don't taste half bad.
There are way too many species of waterfowl for me to comprehend. And some of the guys that I've gone with that call out the breed or the species of duck as they're flying by at 1,000,000 miles per hour, I'm like, how did you know that that's a teal? Or I don't know. And there's different coot and aren't good eating, but these are, I don't know any of that stuff, man. I'm just it's a whole different world. But I know if you're either duck hunting, muskie fishing, or whitetail hunting right now. And whichever one you're subscribed to, that's the thing. And we are full. I mean, I don't know about you, Greg, but it's whitetail.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm engaged in whitetail and getting things done around the house before the snow flies.
If it's muskie, go listen to Okayest Fisher podcast.
Yeah, we don't have anything out recently.
Matt's a muskie guy.
Matt's
you got lots of there's lots of muskie episodes. You could even go put a rerun out if you want to. I don't care.
If you wanted to.
Then there's the up duck for the duck hunters, which Tyler, it sounds like, is getting the duck hunting like fever.
Yeah.
He said to me, he's like, I don't know, man, I'm really starting to like really love duck hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He's been out a lot.
Good. That's good.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, well, more than whitetail? He's like, yeah, I think so. I mean, he's got dogs that are trained really well.
Oh, and I've been there. Like, I didn't hardly deer hunt other than gun season and maybe a little bit during the rut, bow. But when I had a dog, I duck hunted every opportunity I could. And if it wasn't ducks, it was pheasants or running up north quick for a grouse hunt or something. But when you have a good dog, it's hard to leave that dog home and go chase deer.
I suppose that's true. Leaving the dog home sounds sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the dog gets pretty excited when he sees or she sees
you getting camo on
camouflage or orange, a gun. Sure. Doesn't matter if it's a rifle or a shotgun. They don't know the difference as long as, if it has the shape, it will. Well, he's going hunting. Mm-hmm. The boots.
It's like saying the word walk out loud or treat out loud. It's like they're on you.
They know what's up.
Mm-hmm. Start jumping up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put them in their crate. I'm like, no, I'm going to hunt deer.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect other than
get out
in the wind and get out there and
get out.
I know they're around. I don't know what pressure looks like. I had one camera set up to detect pressure. I haven't seen anything since my battery died. My batteries died 4 days ago. That was my last photo I got, which is really sad because I was like, man, again.
I think you know what you have to do now.
I just got to go hunt.
Go hunt. Put your new batteries in and go hunt.
We have an intern camera guy starting Friday. He's driving from Virginia to Wisconsin. He's just going to be ready to follow any of us.
Okay.
So I might dispatch him to you. I don't know about Derek because Derek's funny about camera guys. I might dispatch him to Tyler, to me, to Matt, whoever. He's just going to be physically present for all of us as needed.
Okay.
So we can get our season 3 off the ground. We've been filming fucking thing.
We have done.
I've done some self filming. I can't say nothing.
Yeah, we've all done a little self filming,
which we do, and then we add in the pro filming, and then we'll usually get Keegan or Jace or whoever. I'm excited to get this fella Caleb in the mix.
Yep.
And Jace will be our producer, and then Keegan, it sounds like, is working in our production for the film of the Blacktail Hunt, which is our first ever film. So just some general housekeeping items for Okayest Hunter, some happenings.
Yep.
There's a film being produced from the Blacktail Hunt from what you guys did together, you and Derek and Lyndon and Keegan.
Probably to air next year.
Probably to air this year.
Really?
That's the plan.
Holy hell.
If Keegan thinks otherwise, if he's still listening, I'm going to have a chat with him. But
I just assumed
it's meant to be this year.
That's what assuming does, makes an ass out of you and me. So
there's that. Then we're filming for season 3 is happening. If you haven't checked out season 1 or 2 of the Okayest Hunter show, which is different than the Okayest Hunter podcast, the show is the episodic The Office Meets Hunting, blah, blah, blah. It's on our YouTube, it's on our Carbon TV. You can go check it out. It's funny. Episodes are like, 10, 12, 15 minutes long, very digestible, very consumable. We hope you guys enjoy that. And then we have, on the product side of things, our grunt tube has been selling like crazy lately. I don't know.
Imagine that.
It's
because it's made by one of the best people in the business.
It's just I think we're ranked in Google now.
Mm-hmm.
If you type in buck grunt tube, we're like number 3. Last year we were number 0 because we just launched it. But it is high quality. It's manufactured by Matt Strime out of with Weathered Oaks.
Mm-hmm.
Game calls. It's a beautiful call. It sounds great. It's nice. It's got our branding on it, of course.
Yep.
Shooter buck grunt tube. Product wise though, we just launched the hunting season survivor crew neck. More colors are coming soon. We have a green and a gray. Right now it's oatmeal. So stand by for that. And then we have a new beer camp collection that's about to debut here in a couple days, week maybe. Just got to work out all the rest of the supply chain bullshit. But if you like Hams, Miller High Life, or Coors Banquet, as well as the shirt Greg's wearing here, the Bush Latte, we'll have Bush, Hams, High Life, and Coors all covered off in our beer camp collection.
Something, a flavor for everyone.
So yeah, whatever beer you like, as long as they're good beers.
Yeah.
We should be good. We don't have Liney's or Yingling yet. Like all these designs cost money, so we got to take our time. And then we're launching flannels, hopefully in the next week or 2. So stand by for that.
Flannels. All right.
And not just any flannel. It's a buffalo plaid red is our only color we're doing this year because, like, again, we're not supply chain experts over here, so we're piggybacking where we can and using some others' knowledge. But it's a buffalo plaid fleece flannel, which is important to know because it's very durable, very warm, very comfortable. It's pretty great. So
Cool.
stand by for the drops of beer camp and flannel and more options for the hunting season survivor crew neck for your significant other that puts up with your obsession of deer hunting. And that's what I got. I think that's enough for the. Oh yeah, there's 3 more podcasts on deck to join the network. We're working through that as well.
Cool.
So there'll be another female voice on the network here soon. Bit of a camo one, which is interesting. We'll see where that goes. And then a firearm centric podcast. So that'll bring us. We're at 12. That'll bring us to 15. Hopefully by end of year, if we can work hard enough to make it happen. So if you haven't enjoyed the other shows on the network, you're missing out because most of them are a lot better than this one.
Yes.
So yeah, and there is an episode for dropping pins this week. I just haven't gotten to it because of the vacation. So Derek did do an episode for dropping pins. I'll get that published sometime this week. So bear with me, folks. I have a lot of catch up to do after being gone for a week.
You'll get there.
Yep, that's what I got. One more comment that came. JJ John said Springer and Setter. They see
Yep.
me.
As soon as you see grab boots,
they go wild.
Yep. That's a good dog for you.
Well, hopefully the rut treats everybody great. We'll be back next week. Let me just check. I think we have a guest next week.
Everybody get out and do some hunting. With the weather turning in our area right now, this is going to be a good weekend to get out and probably see something. With the amount of temperature drop we're going to experience here, I mean, probably 20-some degrees difference.
We do have a guest next week. And then guest list for the foreseeable until we book some more stuff. But we got JD Wilson with Primal Pursuit on next week with us.
All right, sounds good.
So they make as far as if I recall correctly, they make a target block that is impervious to damage of all sorts.
Interesting. We could put that to the test with broadheads.
Well, that's the idea. So hopefully we get some more information on that. But it'll be more about that. But that'll be part of the topic. I imagine we're going to continue to talk about rut stuff. I just and hopefully we'll have more to share. I mean, shit, maybe we'll kill some this weekend.
Never know.
Like that. We kill some this weekend. I might say, you know what, JD, we're going to punch you to the next week because we got some shit to talk about.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll see what happens. But thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a great week.
We'll see you on the next one.
Adios.
See ya.